If you're into political philosophy or just philosophy at all, really, 2017 is ending up to be a strange year and a frustrating one. Um, this one I want to start with a prepared statement. 2017 has been quite the frustrating year for political philosophy and the cultivating of phronesis. The first half started with the rise of aggression toward free speech in the form of Antifa and the Linda Sarsour type movement of fourth wave feminism, fueled by a misinformed hatred of a misogynistic Donald Trump. That's the one where women marched the streets of Washington and New York wearing hijabs, while women in Iran fight for the right not to be forced by an Ayatollah to wear one. That's right, the American left are fighting for the rights of women to wear religious headgear that real Muslims are fighting to cast off. Both groups of the hard progressive left have stultified themselves with the use of violence and plugged ears. While Antifa swing baseball bats and padlocks on chains, the resistance is led by celebrities in pussycat hats performing slam poetry about how nasty their women are. Once one privileged celebrity is done with his or her vile, insipid speech, another takes the mic, unveiling her deep desire to blow up the White House. Madonna, for those that didn't see it. The second half, and she's not the only one. There was others that in the early part of the year were threatening violence against Donald Trump in particular. The second half of the year brought the onslaught of sexual assault accusations against members of the Hollywood elite and even a few political figures, Roger Moore being the latest. The sheer volume of the allegations makes one think back with fond memories of the days when the occasional John Edwards type indiscretion was a big deal. At least then our main concern was still how the next elected officials were going to run the country and whether they were morally fit to do so. This is what I've been thinking a lot about lately with the news cycle, including ones I highly respect, the Daily Wire, and some of the other more conservative ones, are talking about it nonstop. And while sexual assault allegations are a serious deal, it feels to me like we've forgotten about political philosophy altogether and what we should really be thinking about when it comes to how to best run the country and tie up loose ends and fix things that we don't like about it, which there are some valid points. But I think that gets obscured and covered up when the news cycle is all fanatic, how do you put it? I guess you could say, not accusations, because I'm sure a lot of them are true. But anyways, I think we've forgotten about what's really important and what's best in a utilitarian way for the country. I think we need to get back to that. There's a lot of posts, especially this morning, about, for instance, the Trump has lifted the ban on importing, I have to read it again here, importing elephant trophies from Africa. I've seen a lot of posts this morning already where people are saying what a miserable human being Trump is. It's unbelievable. They can't stand the guy, this and that. Which it may be, there may be some validity to that, I'm not sure. But when you open some of the articles, this one from Vox, of all people, actually put what the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service found. By the way, with the help of officials in Zimbabwe and Zambia. I'll read it. Legal, well-regulated sport hunting as a part of a sound management program can benefit the conservation of certain species by providing incentives to local communities to conserve the species and by putting much-needed revenue back into conservation. That could be all BS, or it could be exactly true. I don't believe that Trump is lifting the ban just to let rich people hunt elephant tusks and sell it. I think there is some validity to this, and maybe it's misled or wrong, but I think there was a move there to do the right thing. Anyway, my point was, I think a lot of people are posting clickbait in these headline articles without ever opening it. And maybe they wouldn't say they hated it so much if this is true, that it actually does help, in a weird way, preserve the elephant population there. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe they've looked more into it and thought more about what the best move is politically and to preserve elephant wildlife there. But maybe we didn't know until opening to read the article. So this one's short, but I just wanted to talk about that. Oh, by the way, another one if you're really interested in true political philosophy, he's been on a roll lately. Mark Levin is on late on Hot Talk 99.5 in Myrtle Beach, and the last two nights has been mostly about fiscal conservatism and how tax reform should work and what's morally right and wrong with how we go about setting up what the government takes for our hard-earned money. And it is a philosophical debate. This all should be about philosophy and let's really think and figure out what is the best here. One of the best books I've read, I got this in Asheville, North Carolina, I believe. No, I was in North Charleston. This was only $1.99, The Great Political Philosophies. They talk about Burke, Rousseau, Kant. Who else is in here? Karl Marx is even in here, which they say great political philosophies, but I think they mean grand, not so much great. But anyway, I just wanted to say that lately. I want to know what you guys think. It seems like we've and this has been a long time coming, but we've drifted from true political philosophy and what we think is the best way to run a state. And by state, I mean a country, the state of the country. What's the best way to go about that? But anyway, let me know what you think. That's it for this. Oh, tribute to Paul Joseph Watson, by the way. Imagine my shock.